Alrighty. Well, I'm working on the Jeep today. Actually have a number of things I want to do to it. Don't know if I'm going to get it all done today. Start with the quickest thing, which is these pillar light brackets. Comes with everything you need. Comes with brackets. Comes with a little foam pad. Comes with rivets, which I'm not going to use. I'm actually going to use well nuts. I bought these when I bought the quarter 20 well nuts that I needed to put the rock lights on. I got the 8/32, which actually fits the hole almost perfectly. The 8/32 are fine. Plus, that's the only riv nuts I had. If I wanted to get 24s, I'd have to order them. I've also got washers too. Stainless bolts, stainless washers. Zinc coated riv nut should be all fine. These would be fine. I'm not a big fan of rivets, but I'd rather have these more secure than a rivet. Rivets are fine for what they do, but over time, rivets can loosen up. So I'd rather have a riv nut, which is an actual square blind hole for a nut. So I'm going to go ahead and mark these out where I want them to go. Basically, you can put them anywhere on the pillar you want to. I like it down here at the bottom. I've seen people mount them up here. I've seen people mount them in line with their mirror. I've seen people mount them above the mirror. I've seen people put one here and put one up here. You can do a bunch of stuff with them. I'm just going to go ahead and mount it right here at the bottom. What I'm going to do is I'm going to line it up with the bottom of the A-pillar right here before it goes into the fender. I'm going to mark on the back side. Drill the holes that I need for that riv nut. I don't know the size yet, but I'll figure it out. And then all you got to do is put the riv nuts in. And I'll show you that. But one thing you do have to remove before you start is your seal. There's going to be a seal up here. You got to take that seal off. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and mark out where I need. And I'm going to go ahead and drill the holes. And I'll tell you what hole size, just in case you want to use those riv nuts. Like I said, I got those at Northern Tools. Your location may vary. If not, you can find them all day online, eBay, Amazon, Fastenal. If you have a Fastenal about you, you could usually walk in there and get them. If not, they can order them for you. So, yeah. Just let me mark out the holes and drill them. Alright, here's the tool. You got to put the adapter in the end of it. Comes with a bunch of different adapters. They're reverse thread. The attachments are reverse thread. So that's what you got to make sure when you take it apart and put it together. But I drilled the holes. They were 17/64. You take the riv nut, thread it on there. And I already sprayed. I had some paint match paint. I couldn't find it, so I sprayed some. I had some bed liner laying around. I sprayed some of that in there, but I'm also going to put RTV in the hole also. So that'll also seal it, and keep it from rusting. It's the main thing. Keep it from rusting. But I don't know if I'm going to do this one hand. I don't want to mess it up. Got plenty of them though, so I can just take it out and drill it. Put it in there. Make sure it's threaded in all the way. Yeah, I can't really do it with one hand. But you grip it down, and it pulls it through. And then usually what I do is I thread it out just a little bit, and I grip it again to double check, make sure it's gripped tight. But yeah, I'm not gonna be able to. I can't do this one hand, so I'll be back. All right, well, I got all of them in. Now all I got to do is put the gasket on this. I'm gonna go ahead and put that rubber piece on, foam. Go ahead and put this piece of foam on. It's got a sticky back on it, so I'm gonna go ahead and stick this on. And I'll start putting the nuts on. Alright. Alright, and there it is. It's a little awkward to get it on with the gasket, because obviously the gasket's thicker, so if you're using the weld nuts, you start all of them, then you start, push it as far in as you can, then you start tightening them down slowly. I started with the middle one, and then went to the outside ones, and then I found a loose one, and just kept on going back and forth until all of them were tight. They're just number 6 bolts, so don't just He-Man them. But these bolts, I think I mentioned they're stainless. But yeah, the rubber will compress, so just so you can do that. But I'm pulling on it. It's not really doing anything. It's moving part of the pillar. Well, no, not really. It's just this part's prying up on the pillar, and this part ain't moving. So that's good. So got that side on. It's easy. If you're using rivets, it's just same principle, but you don't drill as big of a hole. You drill a hole just so the rivet slips in there. If it has a little bit of resistance, that's fine. Then you stick this foam piece on. That's a little tricky. Not really. You just make sure these are lined up. Hold these. Then take like a screwdriver or something, get it in this groove, and then get it in that groove, and it should be in there fine. I had to trim this front side because it was a little too long after I got done. And then it's the same principle with the rivet. Hold it in there. It's probably better if you have 2 people. Have somebody hold it in there as tight as you can. Take the rivet, stick it in there. Push it as hard as you can with the rivet, probably with one hand. And then the other hand, if you can, tighten it. If you can't tighten it, then just push on here as hard as you can. And try to lean up on it, and then get both hands and pull it down. And hopefully the rivet is good enough that it'll catch and pull it together. But the thing is that if you're going to use a rivet, you need to make sure this is held tight while you pull it down. So it's better if you have 2 people. Somebody to push this, both up and in while you do the rivet on it. With the riv nut, all you got to do is make sure you get the riv nuts in there in the right spot, and then with the bolts, you just tighten them down. It's better if you use Allen head screws like I got, because if you don't, they're going to be way too long. This should go on there fine. Pooches out a little bit, but closes in the door fine. If you do a rivet, it's gonna be this length too. So it might be a good idea to get some of that weather seal and stick up there. There's the 3M weather seal or something, stick up there. You want this though, otherwise you'll have wind noise. So if it's a little loose, that's fine, because it's just going to shut in the door where it needs to be. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and put the other side on. It's the same way that I did this one, and I'll be back. Alright, here's the gasket foam piece on. This one fit a little bit better. It's still a little off right there, but I'm not going to worry about cutting that much off. Now, we already got the rib nuts in here. This side seems like it went in better than the other side. Down here, there's a piece of the pillar that's folded over, and it folds over right here and goes across. This was actually bowed out, so I took a punch and punched it in to get it flat enough so I could get this similar to the other side. Yeah, now all I got to do is put those nuts back in. Again, I started them all, and then I think I started with the center one. I pushed it all in where I needed. Pushed it as far in as I could where I needed to, and then put it all together. One thing I do notice, and this is probably going to be with your Cherokee too, manufacturing, Chrysler, fit and finish, back in the 2000s weren't the greatest. There's definitely a difference between this pillar and that pillar. The bracket fit a lot better on that pillar than it does on this pillar. But I say it's more the pillar, because you can tell a defined difference between this pillar and this weather strip holder. And over there, this is actually bowed out right here. So that's part of the pillar. So you might run into a slight fit and finish issue where this sticks out. This side I think is going to have a gap all the way down, just because this pillar is, you know, not perfect. But I'm going to go ahead and get this on, and I'll do a shot afterwards with both of them on, and I'll put the lights on there that I'm going to put on. I'm not wiring them. Well, I'm not going to wire them in this video, but I'll just put them on. And there's that. That's all tight. That bolt down there is a little crooked, but other than that, it's fine. Again, this is the spot down here that's kind of messed up. Also, a note, my fender up here is touching the A-pillar. My fender on the other side has a gap on the A-pillar. So, you know, fit and finish on these older Jeeps are not perfect. But anyway, got that on. Got the other side on. But, yeah. Now I'll go ahead and put the lights on it and just show you what it's going to look like. I'll probably wire the lights up. Well, I'm not going to wire the lights up first because I got a switch box I'm putting in, so I got to wire the switch box up. I got to wire the switch box up before I wire the lights up, but I will set the lights on there. Alright, and that's the light I'm going to use. Right there. Obviously there's one for the other side, but I didn't put it on. I'm going to take the wire. I haven't decided if I'm going to put a hole through here and put a grommet in it. If I do, I gotta go get some grommets. Or the thing I'm probably going to do is just run it over here and drill and cut out a slot of the mesh right here, the fake mesh that's on this side. Real mesh is on that side. Real fake mesh is on this side. The holes aren't cut out. Probably just cut a square in it or something and run the wire down through here. I see people run it in the door. I don't really want to run it in the door because then you're opening and closing it on it. It's either going to go down through here. I'm just going to put a hole and put a grommet in it, or I'm going to bring it over here. But yeah, those lights are going to go right there. At least that's the ones I'm going to put there for now. I think I'm going to get different lights for here. And if I do that, I'm going to take these lights and move these lights up there and put those lights somewhere else. But yeah, that is it for this video. This video is just on the install of these, not the install of the lights or the switch box or anything. I will have a separate video on the switch box and then a separate video on installing these lights. I'm not putting these lights on until I get the switch box on, which may or may not happen tonight. Because I gotta head out somewhere. So depending on what time I get back, I might install the switch box. It shouldn't be too hard. The hardest thing installing the switch box is going to be just running the wire inside for the actual switch itself, and also finding a place under the hood that's open enough to put it. That's what I'm going to figure out. But anyway, that is it, and I'll talk to you later.